And now, you're listening to the What Why Now podcast with DJ Scottos.
DJ Scottos.
DJ Scottos presents What Why Now podcast.
Welcome to the DJ Scottos What Why Now podcast. For this episode, I've invited another special guest where we find out what it was like growing up in Liverpool, realizing he was gay and how he came out, what he was doing before he was the Queen of Scotty Road. How did the Queen of Scotty Road start? Dealing with the pressure of being a big creator on social media, dealing with the trolls, find out about your song and the plans for the future, plus much more. Let's make some virtual noise for Philip Regan, aka Queen of Scotty Road.
Thank you very much, Scotty ass. As I always call you, DJ Scotty in the house. I say DJ Scotty in the house.
Talking about that, Queen, right? It might be worth sort of us explaining how this has kind of happened and how we met. So I think you've done a good start of this. So we met on TikTok, right?
Yes, I used to go DJ Scotty in the house. DJ Scotty in the house. So it catches on to a few people, and a lot of people say it, DJ Scotty in the house.
Become a bit of a trend. And like when I go to other people's lives, I go, "Oh, are you DJ Scotty in the house?" I'm like, so again, thank you as well for doing that, and also
and
joining my podcast.
You know, says DJ, if you know, says when you do come into my room and that, I mean, everyone's got a lot of respect for you. They always tag you, "Hello, DJ Scotty in the house," you know.
And that's, you know what, just before we go into the podcast, I've got to say that's my reason for coming onto TikTok, to have a bit of escapism, have a bit of fun. And as we all know, people that do use TikTok, it has an element of like, it's quite toxic. But this guy here, and he hasn't been off a few days because he's been bloody busy doing other work. We've all missed him. He's getting messages going, "Where are you?" Because we just so rely on your, which comes to pressure, I guess. We rely on you keeping us sort of. Before I start asking you questions, I was a bit cheeky though, Queen. I did send out some messages to some of my listeners and some of the people on TikTok to ask, what questions would you want to ask? And all the millions of questions, as you can imagine, Queen, that's come in. These are the ones I would say are the top ones. So if there was a movie made of your life at some point, what would it be? And like, what would your movie be called? And who would play you?
Never look back, because look where I am today. And who will play me? Well, do you know what? I personally can honestly say, I don't think anyone could play me. I'm being very truthful with you. I don't think anyone could play me. But I must admit, I've seen a lot of people on Instagram and other TikTok and so on. And I've seen people, young people, and I go, do you know, that person just reminds me of me? And I see a lot of other people reminds me. Oh, I always go, if I done a movie, I love them to play me as a younger person, you know. But I always say, no one's like me. So I always say that no one's like me.
I'm glad you answered that way, because I don't think there's anybody. I know people obviously are, because of your things that you'll say, which we'll come on to. It must be weird that everyone says it now, shouts it out, or you're about to say it, or they kind of like finish.
Oh, I know.
It must be funny, like how you deal with that. We'll come on to that a bit more. So if you could invite 3 people to dinner, who would you want them to be? Like, who are those 3 people you'd invite round?
Me mama. That's my grandmother. Me mama. That's what we called her. She'd be number 1. Yeah. Who always invite for dinner. She passed away. 2011, January 2011. Very close to it, but we'll get onto that later.
Yeah.
And then I think I was inviting my uncle Valley, who passed away 6 months after that. And I was inviting very, very dear friends, Lynn Flood.
Nice. Is there anybody that outside of your family that you would like, you look up to or respect, or you'd love to spend time with them for dinner, like even if they're not here anymore?
Right. What's right? I tell you, Rylan Clark. Yeah. Rylan. because I know Rylan, and what I like of Rylan, he reminds me so much of myself because he's a very, very, really down to earth. And another person who gets a lot of backlash is Kim. What bit? What being is it? What being? What way with it? I would have her and all because she's on my wave level. I know she's very straight. She's very down to earth. She's got something to say. She will say it.
Yeah, exactly.
So two of them would be on the top of my list.
What was the one thing you wanted for Christmas as a kid that you never got? And I'll tell you who said that one. That was from Rachel. Actually, I'll give you that's the only one I'll give you.
Rachel,
you know very, very well.
Do you know what? I come from a working class family, so we never really went out. To be honest with you, we didn't. A lot of people who know me personally know that.
Yeah.
Did you know that? We never really went out. My mum and dad worked all the lives. My mum and dad passed away young man. My mum's she's retired, of course, working age. But no, we never anything we wanted, we did get clothes wise, anything we got. We used to always ask for a dog, and my dad used to say to us, well, we can't feed you, so we can't get a dog in a funny way. We've got used dogs, but we used to always ask for dogs. We never got one for Christmas.
If you were a wrestler, what would your entrance theme song be?
So if it was a wrestler, what do you mean?
So if you was a wrestler, WWE wrestler, what would your entrance theme song be?
Simply the best.
Love that.
I will come in with that. Simply the best. With the wrestlers to come in as a wrestler, simply the best. But I like all country and western. So would it be throw the blankets on the ground? Would it be Waking 9 to 5? Would it be Jolene? Would it be Paper Roses?
Yeah. Would they take it seriously?
They're my kinds of songs. Yeah. People always say to me, what kind of music? And I go, don't be asking me what kind of music, because I don't come in, I don't put them on, I don't sit here and listen to them. If I'm out and a song comes on, I'll sit and sing to it, but I don't personally come in and switch the, as I still call it, radio on. I don't really anything like that. But I must admit, I do put my earphones in and do listen to me country and western, and I like old camp music.
If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be and why?
Right. If I was a superhero, I'll be honest with you. To make more people laugh, to tell the truth, it's when you make people laugh, it's a blessing. It is a blessing, and it's one of the hardest things you can do.
Oh, you're so natural at doing it. It's mad to hear you say that you say it's hard to do it, because you just the way you are, and the way you just could just change your face expression, your body language. Just that's it. I'm done. I'm done when you do that. It's amazing. So as people may not know, you were on Blankety Blank a few years back. If you were asked to go into any game show, or you could choose any game show, past or present, which would you love to be?
Come on down, The Price is Right.
Yeah, was it which one? Why
Come
was that?
on down, The Price is Right.
Yeah.
Come on down and play with the Queen of Scotty Road.
What was it about that game show that you loved? Like, 'cause I know so many went there back in the day. I remember like being a kid, 3-4 channels you could only watch, and
Generation Green. I used to like that. Play your cards right.
Yeah.
I do stuff like that when I do a bit of shows anyway.
What takeaway foods represents you today and why? Sorry, it's another great.
Well, I like Chinese. I like spicy, because I'm very spicy, and I enjoy it, and I'm an enjoyable person to be with.
Good, love that. Spicy and hot.
Yeah.
If you were setting off to Mars and could only take one luxury item, so you could take one thing with you, what would it be?
One luxury item, what would it take with me?
Yeah.
My phone.
Yeah, I think most people wouldn't, they, because you've got so many different options on there you can do.
Because I would have to let people know where I am. Let them all see the videos.
Let's hopefully they'll have Wi-Fi in Mars soon. So
Yeah,
should be
yeah,
fine.
yeah.
Right, last two. What's the weirdest thing you've got in your fridge right now?
Oh, could be in the freezer.
Yeah. So anything you keep, anything you
I've
like.
got a duck.
You got what? A duck.
A duck that's in the freezer though.
By the way, I know. Like, did you say dog or duck?
Duck, not duck.
Sorry, I had to just double check that.
Duck, quack, quack. Duck,
Okay.
quack, quack.
That's what I thought. Oh, I know. That's maybe this is the wrong podcast.
Quack, quack.
Sorry. This is where it's good to have these podcasts.
Oh, well, that's what it's about.
This is where I'm kind of bringing stuff out of you. This is where people go, oh my God, he keeps dogs. Right, anyway, let's move on. So, by the way, thank you for those random questions. And thank you, everybody, for sending them in. We know a little bit more that we wouldn't have known. What's your normal day? Like, from waking up to going to bed? Like, I know it randomly changes, but roughly.
Yeah. Well, my normal day is generally, I'm up at 5 o'clock in the morning.
I know that.
If I've got any washing to do, anything, it all gets thrown in. And I've got what I've got to do. And by 7 o'clock, I'm sitting here having a cup of coffee. By 7:45, I'm either in town, city centre, getting what I've got to get, what I've got to do. I go around, have a cup of coffee, sit down, sitting there. People come over to say hello and photos, whatever. I always say yeah. And then what's planned for the rest of the day? I'm all changed, what I've got to do, and that's what it is. Or some days, what people don't realise about me is I'm a very, very, which people, I know for a fact people don't believe this, but I am telling the truth. I like my own company. I like sitting in, looking at the telly, a coffee, something to eat, having crisps, having a chocolate, a bar of chocolate. You know, that's me. That is me. I like switching off. And it's me time. I'm on the phone to friends. What have they been up to? Blah, blah. You know, stuff like that. I have friends come to visit me. I go visit them, family. But that's me. That's me. I like being very, very just me in my own little world, looking at the telly. Like people say to me, what you like on the telly? What movies? No. I like all reality shows, all the housewives. I like all that. That is soap operas. That's it. Believe it or not, I watch them all.
Has that changed over as you've got older though? Like obviously being around many people and pressure.
Of course,
do you think it's changed?
Well,
because of the job that you do. That's why you need time out for it.
Yeah, well, see what it was. Sometimes it was I was going out and I was doing 2, 3, 4 jobs if they're nice and coming home, and it's like the next day I just can't move because I've used all my energy. My voice was gone, and it was like I've run a marathon. It was like I run a marathon. No one I can't move my shoulders, my arms, everything can be really killing. And it was the thing. And some days I would have to get up. I would have to do because I had another day plans, so I had to do it. You know, all stuff like that. But you know, people think it's easy work, and God knows it isn't. No. It isn't. It's not an easy about it.
No, and you know from experience, like I say, when you know your body will tell you what you need to do now, doesn't it? I think we've all like younger, you try and be like a robot and they're running around.
Yeah, true.
Create every opportunity, but you know from more experience. So I just thought I'd ask that because obviously people see you when they see you on different social media or on TV or whatever. But I always like to ask what is it like when that door's closed? What do you do on an average day? And it sounds like you just do you use that time to get creative, I guess, like when you're thinking of like maybe
I do. I've got to be honest. I've seen some things I might write down and go, oh, that'd be good. Or that'd be good to do this on a video or what. Gotta be. So I've got to be honest, you're right there. I do that. Yeah. I do that. Or sometimes I'm looking at someone and I see what they say, but I use it, but I don't use them exact words. I change it all around so no one knows I've used that. So I do it that way. So, like on the beginning, I can put the beginning to the end and the end to the beginning on some of my stuff. So yeah, I do look, and that's how I look, and then I write things down, and I mix all the sayings up, what I'm going to do, and that's it. I mean, people automatically think I must walk around anyway, screeching and screaming and insulting people, which I certainly don't. Because I do, I walk around with a cap on, and honest, also woolly hats and a big long coat, and sometimes a scarf wrapped around me. No, this kind of weather. But I really do. I don't go around making sure, oh, look at me. Yeah, I really don't. Because people turn around and say, oh, yeah, I say, no, I'm not famous. I say, my name's well known.
Yeah.
My name's well known.
That's what I would say actually on going back to the TikTok and how we met and how you are. That's the one thing I would say. There's a lot of people on there going, oh, "I'm famous. I'm this. I'm that. I'm that. I've got this." That's the one thing you do. You never do. You never ever ever. You always play it down. Actually,
I wouldn't be anyone without them, and I'm so grateful to them, and I will be grateful till the day I've got to be brought till the day God wants me. I'm so grateful. I can't thank people enough. That's why I never walk past anyone. That's why when people stop me for photos, if I'm sitting eating in a restaurant, I never say no. If I'm in a cafe, I'll never say. If I'm standing by ice cream stand, I'll never say no. Not waving with me nieces and all that. But they're only young. See, their faces go red. Embarrassed and all that. But no, and plus, my nieces, they love him because in school, even the teachers say, your uncle's famous. And I always say to them, which I'm not famous. I say, I'm not famous. I say, I'm just a well-known person. And I just was lucky. I was very lucky.
The What, Why Now podcast.
Obviously, it's pretty obvious you're for Liverpool. What was it like growing up there? And describe to me what you were like as a child.
I was never shy as a child. Was never shy. I always was very popular as a child. Always had loads of friends, loads of mates. I was very popular as a child, and how can I say it? We were learned. We always had respect. We did always have respect. We did have respect, and I think that's what's finished with a lot of young ones today. Not all of them. I'm not classing all young ones the same because there's some good young ones, some halfway cheeky ones.
I agree.
But me as a child, we grew up, and we had, it was a good life we had. You know what I mean? And we had, I had me ways, and I had me moments, and I had little things in me life, where what made me who I am today.
Yeah. Did you have any childhood nicknames? I always ask this to people on.
Did I ever have a nickname?
Yeah, as a child, when you was growing up.
Well, yeah, a few of our mates just call me Fantan.
Fandan.
Yeah, the reason I got my nickname Fantan, it only a small thing of Fantan, is because I used to come out and fest, and it was what Claw Fantan, so they used to say a Claw Fantan.
Right, love that. So have you got any siblings, like any brothers or sisters, and what effect have they had in your career or your life?
Yeah. We're a close family. My sister Jean and my brother Damien and all that. We are close. We see one another all the time. We need help. We're there for one another no matter what. Like any brothers and sisters, we all have our little arguments and little tips and that. But it's forgotten about in 10 minutes, which it really is. We will help one another, and we're always there for one another.
Were you the old? How was the ages? Were you?
I'm the oldest. I'm the oldest.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I'm the oldest.
So, what have they had any impact on your career in any way? What were they like being involved in it? Is there anything they've done?
No, I'll tell you what. They're very, very proud. Very, very proud. Very, very proud. And we're not one. We're not one for showing our feelings.
Yeah.
None of us. None of us. Just the way we're raised up. We were raised up that way. You ain't shown anything. You like these mothers to say, "Father, oh, I love you, I love you." Well, we were a generation what wasn't shown that. Just not us. It was my generation wasn't shown it.
Yeah, very, very similar. And obviously, I did a bit of research before the podcast. So you mentioned your mum, mum. Is that the name?
Mama, mama,
Yeah. So I think I understand you live with your grandma, your mum at
yeah.
some point. How did that all happen? And I know one thing you're very proud of. You mentioned.
Oh yeah, yeah. I, I mean, I miss her. I miss her every day. She passed away. I miss her every day.
Yeah.
And we were always together. Always went everywhere together. I mean, everywhere. You know, uh, I was spoiled rotten off it. Spoiled rotten. That's what I said. I always had everything.
Yeah.
I didn't go without anything. I always had everything. And later on in life, uh, see, I will live with her because when my mum and dad got married, they lived where they got married, lived with my mother's mother. And then when they moved, I used to stay with her for weekends. And then when I was a bit older, going to school, them days you could go to school by yourself when you were 6 and 7.
That's
You know,
mad,
you
isn't
could,
it? 6, 7
you could,
school.
you could do that.
Yeah.
So we used to always sleep in my grandmother's. She used to get ready for work and then get me ready. And then she used to say, when the clock's on that number's on 7, that's when you go to school. And I used to say, she'd be gone to work, she was a cleaner in a university, my grandmother. And she worked all her life. She lost her husband young. She worked all her life. She raised her own children up by herself. Never bothers with anyone, men or anything, you know. And then, I just automatically lived with her then. And then later on in life, she, you know, just elderly. And then I had to come and live. She come and stay with me. And then she stayed with me about 5 years. And, I had the ups and downs with her, and all of it was very, very good to me. And then um, we moved not far on the other side of Scotland Road, but we were on demolition. Now she was 86, and she lived
Wow.
there for 50 years. And all the other neighbours who was ready to move, they were the same age. They lived there. They all died just before they moved. What does a woman or a man at 86 lived there for 50 years want to start moving to a new place for?
Yeah.
And all the neighbours, the families up. So we moved over, and she'd only there for about 6 months. And she lived with me in the new places when she had her own place, but her son lived there. And she died. She died with me, and I loved her so much. And from there, a son who lived in Ayers Valley, he had terminal cancer. So I looked after him, but don't get me wrong, his own brothers and sisters was there every day. But I think he thought because I looked after his mother, I knew what I was doing. And I nursed him in 6 months. He died.
Wow.
And then
Wow.
from there, I nursed my great uncle. A lot of people don't know things like this about
Wow,
me.
do you know what? That's. And by the way, can I just say that's not many people would look after their grandma. Do you know what I mean? Under any circumstances, by the way. But that just shows you the respect you had and her being a big part of your growing up. That you did. You then became the adult, I guess, of the
Yeah,
relationship and living with somebody at that elderly age. I love my dad to bits when she was alive, but the thought of looking after her would have been isn't easy. So fair play to you, by the way.
yeah.
So that's a well, another thing I didn't realise. So that's so well done to you because obviously you're trying to have your normal life. I don't know how old were you at that time?
When I lost it,
Yeah, how old was you when you were looking after her?
I'll tell you how old I was. 38.
Wow. No, well done to you, Queen. That's amazing. I can see obviously, how that's talking about her now brings that emotion back up and shows you how much you loved her. And obviously,
She'll be 100 tomorrow, the 22nd.
wow, wow.
2 seconds.
Okay.
That was it. That was it.
Oh, wow. Wow.
So I have
Is that you? Is that you?
to my bed. I just think of it. Think of it.
Yeah,
Go
that's
for the cemetery,
yeah.
which is buried. But you never get over you you move the rest of your life, but it's easy. It's easy.
Yeah,
Goes easier.
It does, yeah. And by the way, yeah, like that's absolutely amazing, by the way. And 100 years old tomorrow. So, and it sounds like she's got. I keep joking about my birthday being Christmas Eve. She's got a birthday on Christmas.
Yeah, that's right.
22nd.
Christmas Eve. Yeah.
So what were your parents like then? You mentioned you lived with your grandma, but what should in some of your research I did was about your dad wasn't necessarily one that would talk about you a lot, but he obviously would be quite proud of what you've done. I think you mentioned it.
He's been dead 27 years. He's been dead 27 years. He was 53. I went into operation, and it was the hospital's fault. And he snapped something, set seniors, set in air and that. So he was only young, but me and my dad never seen eye to eye. We never seen eye to eye. My dad was like a man's man.
Right, okay.
And the way I carried on.
Right.
And he didn't like it.
No, I hear you. And I think I did this a bit of research and listened to another interview, and I think you said, and I think it's probably true, that he would be probably bloody proud of what you've done. Even though you had your ups and downs, it sounds like he would.
If he was alive today, I know he would be proud. Yeah. I know that's not. I know for a fact.
So before, I guess, the whole Queen thing of Scotty Road started, what were you doing before that? What was your kind of sort of first job and before that all started?
I worked on the docks. My first job was on the docks. I worked on the docks in Liverpool, brushing the warehouse and stuff like that, set traps up and the pigeons and that. That was a great idea. I used to love it, to be honest with you. And then from there, that was good. I think it was £50. That was a lot of money then. That was a lot of money. It was 50 quid, a lot of money. And it was good there. And then I just went from, you ain't which you did that. My dad got us a job, scaffold. No one knows that. Scaffold, laying us out to scaffold. I think it's on 2 days. And I said, to you. And then I I started going into the catering, doing cake. Oh, it's all those soup up work. And then I remember doing painting in the Albert Dock when I was getting married. Now it's doing painting there. But then I liked the catering, and then I used to do the catering. And I worked in the hospitals. I loved it in the hospitals. Loved it. And they loved me. I worked in the women's hospital. And then a job come up in the Royal Liverpool Hospital. So that was nearer to me. I could when I say walking distance, a 20-minute walk, get the bus there. But, the summer I used to walk to work. Yeah. But I used to always go in an hour earlier. The reason I used to go in an hour earlier is because all the old ones there who did the door, I used to make them cups of tea at that time. Go in about 6 o'clock, make them cups of tea, because he wasn't getting the breakfast till 8 o'clock. So I used to do all that. I went to the main canteen. And I was in the Royal, the women's, I loved the women's, all new babies, and it was lovely. Happy. I was a happy place there, a happy place.
What was it though? What was it about that? Because obviously, not many people love working in hospitals. I'm not going to lie. Obviously, people that work.
Do you know what?
What was it about that?
I liked it because I used to bring joy to them. I used to make sure we sit with them, because a lot of people. I could tell you a few things. I used to sit with a lot of the girls. When I finished work, because they'd be very depressed, which I did. Depressed, I used to talk to them, go, you're all right. I'd be finishing. I used to go in at 7 in the morning, the women's, and then I used to do overtime, go on the ward, because I worked in the main canteen, go on the ward till 7 in the night. Sometimes I'll be sitting with them till 9 o'clock. I wouldn't be getting back into the house till 11 o'clock minutes.
Wow.
So I used to sit with them and have a joke and tell them some stories, made up stories, by the way. Something's just happened to me and nothing's happened to me, but just to make them laugh. And then from there, the job come up. Well, why don't you put us off, don't you? And it was less hours, but better money.
Right.
So it was 6 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock, where I done from 7 till 3 in the hospitals. Well, then plus overtime, once to overtime, which I always did overtime to make sure, because I need to live. You know what I mean? So then I got it in there, and that was a homeless shelter. That was for people with addictions, right. Drug addicts, alcoholics, people with Pingo. and it was very sad day. But I really liked it. But do you know what? And you could not trust them. You couldn't.
Yeah.
You couldn't. One person said to me one day that their mum's died and they never had bus fare to get there. They get a good stack of friends to give them money. And I said, don't let no one know. Here's £10. I said, get the bus. I said, you'll be all right. No such thing. No
Oh,
such thing.
sad that
You know.
people do
And
that.
then I
Yeah.
learned not to give to none of them.
Yeah.
You know, it's a sad thing total too.
Do you know what though? Where did you get your work ethic from? Where did you get that from? Like, because obviously, it sounds
Well,
what hard worker, right? From that
yeah.
starting from then, but where did that come from?
Well, my mum always worked all her life. She worked
Yeah.
and say she left school at age 15. My dad was the very same. He worked on the docks. When he left school, he worked on the ships. And then he got the job on the docks. So he was only 53 when he died, just turned 53. And my grandmother, she worked all her life since she was 14 years of age. And
Right.
then all my family's work. So we always seen that. We always seen it.
So I say that is because actually, you're right. You talk about the new ones or the young ones that are coming through now, these youngers, whatever you want to call them. They haven't realised how hard we've worked
Yeah,
to get to it. And sometimes they don't always follow that. So it
yeah,
shows that
yeah.
that you've obviously seen how hard your parents
Well,
have
we
worked.
got told work for what you want,
True. Yeah.
you
You know
know.
what? That's a great saying, by the way. People don't
Yeah,
realise that. People sometimes think money grows on trees. So
yeah.
in between that all going on, obviously, when did you sort of realise that you obviously were a bit different in regards to your feelings and about and coming out and knowing that you were
I
gay? When
was
did you know that?
when I knew my own sexuality.
Yeah, yeah.
When I was 13,
Right
I
in.
was 13. 13 I was when I knew that.
Was it
Uh,
like waking up one day and that happened, or like where does that moment happen? When did you realise that?
all my friends was always girls. They
Right.
were always girls, and I knew because they were all getting boyfriends and girlfriends and not like that bothered me. Weird thinking anything like that. And it was just the time in school. I was 13, and something happens when I was 13, and the rest, in other words, was history.
Right.
But I could tell you everything. I could tell you that day like was yesterday, if
Yeah.
you wanted to know.
No, you can do. No, share that with us. I think people that may be like having those maybe
Yeah,
the
well,
moments of
do you know
feelings. This
what?
is a good vibe for
Well,
the
you're right
podcast.
there. I mean, I get a lot of people inboxing me and they say, do you want to come out and how can they come out? And my advice to them is don't let no one. When you know it's right, you come out. You come out. It might take you another 20 years, then you know it's right, but you will know it's right. And don't listen to anyone else. And if you're going to tell someone who you know you can trust
Yeah, yeah,
your life with, not someone who will go behind your back and start telling people, because that person will tell someone else and will tell someone else and will tell someone else. And that's what you don't want.
yeah,
I
exactly.
always say that that's mad, but I was 13. We were in college. We used to go on a Monday, and we were in dark room classes, and someone touched me, and I didn't know who it was. So the following Monday, we were back in college because it was a dark room we were in. Lights went on. I didn't know. So we got paired up with people to go into the cemetery, and the cemetery was the angle. I can't say it. Anglesey Cathedral in Liverpool. You know, um, to do the we had to take photos, and it was that person who I paired up with. Oh, the teachers paired us up, not one another, and we knew. We he told me and blah 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 in the cemetery, and
Wow. Okay. So at least you know no
yeah,
one was looking.
and then yeah, the rest was history.
I love that.
Yeah.
Um, did anybody tell you they thought you were gay before you had that moment in the cemetery?
You got that. You got that as a kid. You
Yeah.
got that.
So you had
Yeah.
a little bit of teasing I said, "Oh, why was with girls
Yeah.
all the time?" That sort of.
But after that one, I was innocent. I was innocent. So you didn't really know anything. You just thought it was the way your soul was, way names got said to one another, and that was it. But, six and stones might break my bones, but I'll tell you what, names never did. Names still today don't hate me.
No, that's
Still don't
that's
hate me.
good. Then when did you tell the family, the friends, and that actually this is happening, or this is the
Well,
moment?
I met someone. I was 17. No, sorry, apologise. 18. I met someone, and that's when I knew what love was, to be honest with you. And he was my first love. I'm not going to say his name because he was my first love, and and then I told my grandmother, and that was it.
Did she know?
Just said she said
know?
he already knew.
Oh yeah, of course. Yeah, I was going to say that.
Yeah, she already knew.
Yeah, yeah.
There was no big deal. Was no big deal. And I was lucky. I was lucky. Good family, which I have friends. What their parents thrown them out. So I don't know what kinds of family they had.
So when did the whole thing really start for you? That you thought, you know what, I'm actually this whole Queen of Scotty thing start. When did you thought I could do something like this? That you were quite good. That you had something about you that was entertaining. When did that all kind of click into place?
The Queen of Scotty Road, I had that as a nickname when I was about 18. I got that, the Queen of Scotty Road. Just got that as a nickname in town. Liverpool city centre. I just got that as a nickname of the people I was hanging around with. And that nickname stuck to me. So other people used to call me it wherever I went. So when I walked in anyway, no matter where it was, later on in life, people got to know because I always walked crowds, I never used to scoop and go in anyway. I used to make sure everyone knows I'm in. And then people just started to get to know who I was. So of course, I used to take the limelight then. I used to go, oh love, and I'd be up and dancing about and stuff like that. So I always knew I could make people laugh. I always knew that. I knew that. So, and then, I would be the first to get up and give a song. No, I'll come back. If you see me on TikTok, I'll go, 1, 2, 3, ass and the ass. I can hold the tune. I will not say the best thing, but I can hold the tune when I've got it on a mic. I'm not going to say I'm Roy Orbison or anyone, a big singer, Stella Black or anyone. I think I'd say sing better than me, Stella Black, you know what I mean? She come from Scotland Road,
I saw that, yeah, I was going to ask you about that.
She forgot herself. She went and never forgot the people thing. But that's just that. I'll never do that. Well, a lot of them did. A lot of them. They all attained and went. But, and then it just started entertaining, doing all that. And it just come natural.
When did that kind of really start? How long ago was that when you thought, you know what, this is something I could do as a career?
Now, we just come out of lockdown. Just got that. People must automatically think on Instagram and TikTok. I made myself through lockdown. No, I didn't. I never started till TikTok. And people can look back on it and I can prove that on my TikTok. I can tell you my first video what I put on. I'd say in it, watch me, I'm best on Coronation Street in Emmerdale Farm. That was the first video I put on. And then it was about 17. Think about only been on TikTok about 2 weeks, and I walked into a shop. I said to someone, "Take that camera. When I say ta to you, just turn it off." I said, and then I went. He done it. I'm coming. I was going to bingo that day in the afternoon. I was going to bingo in Bootle, but I was going to Castle. I was going to Castle bingo in Bootle, Liverpool, and I put the video on, and I'm walking up to me mates. To go to bingo about 12 o'clock, 12:30. And the time I walked from the shop up to it, in a matter of 5 minutes, if that, it was 500,000 views already on it.
Wow.
But that video. Then I was still waiting in the shelter commentation. Sorry, apologise. The hostel. And the next day, I was looking, it went to 4 million. Then people are sending me, people are saying, look at it, these people in like big shows were saying it overnight, seeing me saying it overnight. And then it went from, in a few, I think in the matter of, say, 48 hours, it went 7 million right away. And I think because it went so quick like that, I think that's why everyone was saying it, because it never took a time. It took it in hours. And then over the social media, over people who shared, and I think people were concentrating on it and all that. You know, they even said sell TikTok. People, when I got into YouTube papers, it was the most saying in 1921. 2021. Time to rob and friends of you to rob to fucking you.
Yeah.
That was the most saying. Honest, it made millions. Now on the TikTok now, I think it's 12,200,000. But when you look at the other ones, and I've got 3 of them on it. It's another on that three. So about 20 million on it, because I've got another 2 on it, where it adds up to 20 million views. And then, but then on the other social medias, altogether, it comes to 40 to 50 million views. You know,
that's crazy.
And I always, honest.
On video, wow.
And Scotty, what people don't realise, I've got on it on TikTok, I've got about 19 viral videos. Just not what I've got 19 viral, and then on Instagram, which that never happens, I've got six viral videos where I've got 8 million on Instagram, 8 million, 6.5 million, a million here, 2 million. Where it's that's very rare that happens on Instagram.
Do you know what though, Queen? Like basically, people take a long time. It's like a little hill. They go up. You've kind of just gone basically just catapulted and gone straight to the top.
Well, it is.
That's mad.
That's it.
That's that's kind of unheard of, really. Most people take years and years and years and years, but like having that happen overnight, how did you deal with that?
Well, people used to say to me, and my mates used to say to me, Philip, don't you realise what's happening to you? I said, well, what? It's not, just people shot me in the street. That's it. I think that's natural. No, which it was natural where I live. But a lot of people was just shouting me, going, oh, look, there's the Queen of Scotty. Fellas on building sites, whistling, Queen Times and on friends. It was all that. And then he had big A-list celebrities what started saying me words, which it is. So, and then I said something to do here. Then he had people who wants to work with me getting in touch with me. And that's how that happens. That's how that happens.
Honestly, I've got to say that I'm quite involved with quite a lot with social media, and I'm very nosy. I'm always following people. But without really going into complete overview of this, I don't think anyone's ever done that before in that way. Because I think I've also read as well that, you were quite well known in Liverpool, but from that overnight success, you're now an international follower now. Like people around the world, I'm hearing like.
Well, even America, I could show you messages of people who are A-list, got big shows and all that, who love me in America, who follow me and we love you and all that. In England, of course, Scotland. I've got big A-list celebrities in especially our country, who love me. And you'd be very surprised. Australia, I've got big people in Australia.
What advice do you give to somebody right at that moment then, somebody that might have the same impact in 5-10 years' time? What advice would you give to somebody at that point on what to do next?
Trust no one.
So that's hard, isn't it? Because you've got to trust. You've got to find someone that's going to give you a bit of guidance.
Yeah, you when you find them people, you will know. You will know. I've met some good people, who will trust the whales, but some people only want to get around you, so they want to find out what you're up to, what's this, what's that, and they'll go to the person and say, oh, I believe you're doing this show, blah, blah. Well, we can do this, but for blah, blah, this price. And So I've learned about all that.
Yeah, but I guess
That's why I always say to people,
yeah,
when people say, "Wow, I'm up to nothing," so I don't need to tell people till it's shown, and then people know then. Or let them doing shows, and I've got to advertise. That's different. But otherwise, I'm doing videos or promos for anyone. I don't let no one know till I put it out on this.
But so really, your advice is that trust no one, and really, I guess maybe think a bit more. Don't run into things straight away.
Yeah,
Maybe just
chill,
take a step back and.
chill.
So what happens after that then? Really, over the next 6 months to a year, what was I guess what were the highlights of?
Well, the highlights begin. People's go for me to walk into clubs and go for me to walk into restaurants and private parties and all this. And then I thought, what's going on here? I was very honest. I was very honest. And I couldn't thank them enough. And then I started going. Then radio stations started getting in touch with me. And I was going, oh, yeah, okay, I'll come on and all this. And it was quite good. And then Capital got in touch with me, and with Graham Smith, and was to do 2 days with them as the agony ants. But of course, it was all recorded and that, So we used to get people in the office to phone up, to us to joke, but that was really good. Stay for 5 months.
Yeah.
So I've done Scotland radio, I've done Dublin, I've done quite a bit radio shows. So I know how it works now, especially when I'm in the studios, and how it works. But it's a lot of things, and I used to, you know what? I'm so grateful. I was so grateful, really so grateful to every single person, because I was going, God, you made what are you interested in? But I was so grateful, and I made up, because as I say again, it's everyone, every person who's interviewed me, every person who's got a picture, every person who said some nice things and bad things to me. They've made me. Now, what I'll say before I forget is, what I can't make out is when people say a bad thing about you, they don't like you. Well, what are you watching for? What are you watching for? So that's how I know you do. You might like me, but you want to know what I'm doing. Because at the end of the day, on your social media, half of them people don't like you. They're just following you. They don't like you. You only want to see what you're up to.
How do you deal with trolls?
I won't give them the platform. So I'm not going to sit and read Suey Sue and Jimmy Bow and whatever said this about you, and they're saying this, because you're only giving them platform.
Yeah.
So, all this. So that's why I never bother with the trolls. So I'm quite lucky, fingers crossed. I really don't get that many trolls.
Yeah.
I'm very lucky.
Because I've seen someone on there where I've had I don't know, maybe I don't have the hundreds of thousands you do, but I've had some comments about stuff, and there'll be like 20 nice ones or 100 nice ones. There'll be one person that would just say something negatively, and my bad is that I would focus on that one person would affect me more. And
I know.
has anyone affected you where you've gone away, you're like, oh my God, he's really not, I didn't do that, or you're lying, and
I know.
How do you deal with that? How do you get that out of your head?
Yeah. Well, let's just say I'm like that with loyalty. I'm a loyal person, and I think loyalty should be always loyalty, and I do believe in loyalty. I really do, honestly, really do. Excuse me.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's hard to get out of your brain, because it just niggles you. All those lovely comments, and that one person said, "Oh, look how ugly you are. Look how stupid you look. Or why'd you do this, you idiot?"
Well, do you know what? I just say a little today on my Instagram. Someone come up, right, and I don't know the way, and they went, I can't stand you. Something can't stand nothing funny about you. So I just blocked them, and I always go, well, you must like me because you're being looking at me. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you're not going to be, everyone's not going to love you, and everyone's not going to hate you. That's just the way it goes. That goes for everyone.
Yeah,
but it must be sad with trolls, where a lot of them, it must be a lonely life for them, because all they can do is just sit with no picture, no nothing, just typing, and it must be really sad for them, because I think trolls want to be so much like you, and I think that's what it is, and I think it is them inside.
I bet no one's come up and actually said that to your face ever, or maybe like that. No one will come up to you and tell you that what you got
No, I
to
know
say.
that.
They'll never do it. They're just like keyboard warriors, and they'll come up to you and never say to you what they'll say on TikTok or Instagram. They'll never say it to you.
But you know what, though, TJ? Half the time, wouldn't surprise me if you know them. You know them.
Yeah, true.
You know, and you're standing with them, talking to them,
Yeah,
and they're the ones who've been showing you. You know, it's illness. You know, it's a disease, jealousy. It's a disease.
yeah,
And I always turn around and say, I lift my glass up to you and saying, get well soon, because that's what it is. A disease. Jealousy is a disease.
yeah.
And get
No,
well
yeah.
soon.
I love that. Get well soon.
Yeah.
So we obviously social media is a massive, massive, massive part of your career, your life. How do you spin the social media plates? Because there must be a lot to do with all the stuff that's going on. How do you manage that yourself, or do you have anybody that supports you on that?
Well, at the beginning, I used to go to anything, you know, okay. But now, what I do myself now, I don't. I really don't. So they always ask me to go to clubs and coming. I don't. I just don't want to do all that. I just don't want people drunk around. Yeah, no, just they're enjoying themselves. But it isn't that. It's when they start drinking, and
Yeah,
coming in and all, and you think
yeah,
you're a top, which I'm certainly not.
yeah,
But so I don't really. So I do pick me me appearances very select, very select. Or if it's someone who I know and they actually do a favour, of course I'll do it. But
yeah,
otherwise, I say no. I'm always getting fights. It's all. I could be out every night. I could be out. I could be out every night if I
yeah, yeah.
wanted to. I can't. Couldn't be bothered. Can't be bothered.
Yeah. Do you have any support with your admin sort of stuff and messages or requests,
Yeah,
or do you have
yeah,
any support with
yeah.
that? You do.
You know, and then plus you get them in. I mean, sometimes I could be sitting here and a message coming, email or whatever, and then want you to go out to a place, could you make it in the next half an hour or what? But I'll look at that and I'll send them an email. Then when I get the email back, I'll send them my phone number and then I'll phone them and I just say, well, okay, yeah, I will. So, you never know what tomorrow's going to bring you.
True.
You never know what today's going to bring you.
Exactly. How do you keep relevant and good at what you do?
It's a bit hard. It's a bit hard sometimes, as I say. You've got to think what's now and what's what. What will it do? I'm trying to load a little new things to try and go. Well, here's another, and that's going to catch on. I always go, that's going to catch on
Yeah.
because every saying I've said, I can honestly say everyone's catched on. So I can't say to you that one really didn't catch on, never
Yeah.
did. But everyone I would always say it catches on.
When you've got sayings like that, right? Do you have to like register them or like trademark them or something like
Yeah,
so?
trademark.
You do? Is that what you do? Like,
Trademark them. You got to pay. It's only buttons, £2 something.
yeah, yeah,
It's only buttons. You got to trademark them because anyone can go out and get all these t-shirts with all that on, cups and stuff. Well, I'm not. I can't say I've got loads. What's not me piercing? What's selling them? What's Sonny? But I've got them. I own that name.
yeah,
I own it. I own the Queen of Scotty Road, the
yeah,
Towns that
yeah.
are
Right, right.
defensive give.
Yeah,
I do own that saying,
yeah. I was
you know.
wondering
But
about that because people have got
yeah,
like
so I could
millions.
sue them. So if a big company come up and they done all that and they made millions of pounds, I could say, well, all right then, I want it.
Because
That's what
people
a
do
lot of
copy
people
them.
don't know. Stevie must think they're all shaking out like that. The
Oh no!
nails of me
Oh my
chest,
God, he knows.
the
I've
big
got eyes.
demon.
Fuming. They've got eyes, ears everywhere. You got eyes, ears everywhere. I know you're doing my little sayings.
Yeah,
I know you've
yeah.
written down in that book. I've got eyes everywhere. Yeah, they'll be shaking.
Demon.
Fuming. That's bad. And like again, I think we mentioned a bit earlier. Like, is it how does that work? They just suddenly they might say something in a certain way, or how they sound, or where they're from.
But sometimes it's this. And then I might remember something from years and years and years ago, I say it. I might remember what an old piece, what no one sees of the 30, 40 years. And I go, oh, that's a good one to say. And then sometimes I said to you earlier on, I'm looking on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter, so on. And people might say something, I go, hey, that, I could do that for you. I could do that better. But change it in a lot of ways. Change it so it's better for me to say it,
Yeah,
and that's what I do to.
that's good.
Mm.
And by the way, I have registered DJ Scotty in the house. So I will
I'm
sue
gonna
everybody.
sue you. I'm gonna sue you.
So I
Get
better
that
get that.
phone.
Right, one
Get that
second.
phone.
Okay, quick. Where's the £2? Things are good at the moment. I know we've talked off the podcast saying that you had a bit of a, I guess, a bit of a break from everything, and now you're getting yourself prepared for
Oh, TJ,
2024.
I needed to.
Yeah,
I needed
but
to.
a bit burnt out.
See, I just needed to. I was doing that much. And then I was sitting there in the October, and I remember going to bed, and I remember I couldn't get out of bed for 3 days.
Wow,
And I went to the doctors, and they said I was that run down. Honest, and I was. I knew I
burnt
was.
out, literally
I
burnt out.
knew I
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
And I said, well, my health, I said, and I said, the council's everything in the November. Just
Yeah.
sitting here. Deposits are sent right back, bank transfers, everything right back into the banks. Not everything. So, everything was up board. So I just said, I'm taking that off for 5 weeks.
Was that
said,
hard though, Queen? Was that hard to do that, or you? Because obviously this is your livelihood. You're so up there now, and you know how
yeah,
quick this industry changes. You could suddenly be Queen. Not no disrespect, but
yeah, I
in a
understand
few
that.
weeks suddenly be like someone else has come up with something else, and it's
Yeah,
so
but
hard. How did you make that decision? I know you're burnt
I
out.
remember, I remember people saying here at the beginning, 5 minute wonder. You've had your 15 minutes of fame. Well, look at me now. Look at me now. So you're the ones who are just being hypocrites and just being jealous. Because, as I say, I just know it's that many people who would love me to be in the gutter. But no one's going to see that. No
No,
one's going to
good.
see it because it's not going to happen. It's
Yeah,
not going to happen.
it's good that you made that decision because I think there are people, as we've probably seen, famous and people, even friends, where they've continued and piled through and obviously maybe have used things to help them get through, or they've just you can see in their face how burnt out they are, and that affects their performance. And so it sounds like you made a good call at a good time,
Yeah,
and seeing that you are now, and it's hard. So you obviously this is your income, we're not you're not those billionaires or millionaires that could just live
yeah.
off. So it's hard. So well
Yeah.
done.
But you know what? We only want to live in the Wales. You know what? We don't want to own it. We only want to live in the Wales. I always say, stop the
Yeah.
wheel and let me off. We only want to live in it.
What is the one thing that you are proudest so far of any of your achievements? Everyone that stands out that you're most proud of?
It's myself. I've got to say that because if I wasn't proud of myself and I never had confidence, I wouldn't be sitting here right this second. All the little things where I've done little clips of shows and little bits of stuff. And I'm proud of all that. And then I just done a film. Well, I've done that. But that's only come out to our kids. That was brilliant. I done it with A-list celebrities. And honest. And it was just when I went down to London. We stayed, made fair and all that. We done the red carpet. They were all screaming my name.
That's mad, isn't it?
The Queen of Scotty, the Queen of Scotty Road, all getting interviewed. They were all running to me. I was just so honest.
That must be
But
proud. That must be really
I was
proud moment.
proud. And, I'm proud of a lot of things. I'm proud of a lot of things I've done. But do you know what? I'm not a piece. I'm not a piece like that. I don't ever put myself up there.
Yeah. You don't have a big
I
badge that
don't
says,
ever,
"Oh, I'm brilliant.
yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
yeah,
never do that. I
yeah,
wear my
yeah,
heart on my sleeve. I'm
yeah,
always an honest person. We leave my heart on my sleeve. But I never tell her that. When people say to me, you're doing good, I always say, thanks very much, I appreciate that. When you want a picture, I always thank them. I always thank them. Because I always say, thanks so much. Because at the end of the day, I wouldn't be here. I told you I wouldn't be here. And I'll never forget any of them. Because I thank each one of them people who's made me who I am today.
yeah.
And they,
Love that.
no one else to thank only them.
I love that because there's a lot of people that don't do that. They're very like, I get it. You do get a lot of attention. Sometimes you're like, please, I could just have 5 minutes without that. But
Yeah.
You still do it, and there are people that sometimes will ignore you because everybody wants a photo. That could be that moment that just makes them happy for 24 hours or 24
Yeah.
days. And sometimes people don't realise that are maybe that been in the industry for a long
Yeah, I
time.
don't know.
So do you ever get actually just a quick question? Do you ever get nervous in situations when you're doing filming or around people? Does anyone
Yeah.
do you ever get nervous?
Yeah. But it wouldn't be human if I didn't. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I do get a bit nervous. I seem to get. I don't think it's nervous. I think it's a gender.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it's that. I don't think it's nervous. I think because I'm not shy. I think it's just your gender. I'm waiting and I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
I'm going and I'm ready to go when I walk out. So I think that's what it is.
Yeah,
That's what it is.
nervous energy. So obviously, I saw that you made a song. Like, yeah, tell us about that.
Oh, do you know what? It was brilliant experience. It was, honestly. You can't come up to me and ask, would you want a little song and all that? Do this all me saying, Sam. We went in, recorded it. Do you know what it was fun? It was a novelty song. I wish I could have sang it in my own way, but he
Right.
didn't want it that way. I wish I could have sang it in my own way. He wants me to talk it through. He wants me, I loved it anyway, don't get me wrong. But yeah, it was the thing I wouldn't forgot.
Yeah. Yeah. I love your lyrics on there. So do you think you got a career in singing? Do you think you'll do another song or
Do you know what? Do you know what? Never say never, but I would like to do another one with all new sayings, but a song, because
yeah,
and it will happen. It will happen.
that'd be brilliant. I love that. I think
Yeah,
that'd be a great
that's on
song.
top of my other book. That's on my bucket list and all that. To do a new one with all new sayings in and the old sayings, but to sing it and all.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to most though in 2024?
It's going to be a very, very good year and so positive of the outcome. What I know what's going to come out. I just know, and I'm so grateful for it. And again, grateful, and my life is going to change completely for the best again. For the best is going to be
Fingers
changed
crossed.
completely, and I'm
Yeah.
so grateful again. So honestly grateful.
What gives you like motivation? Like obviously like to get out of bed every single day and do what you do. Yeah, it's a job and you love it, but like what do you do what motivates you every morning
Yeah,
to do
I'll
that?
tell you that. I get out of bed and say, thank God I've opened my eyes. He's let me open my eyes today. And he always get up and he always say, this day is going to be the best day of my life. The best day of my life. I always say that every morning.
Yeah.
And people go to me, what's been the best day of your life? And I go, today. And they
Wow.
look at me. I go, because I'm here. This is the
Yeah.
best day of my life. The past is in the past. And I always think sometimes the past needs to be left in the past. That's why it's called the past.
Yeah. I agree.
You're always like people thinking of it.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know,
So when you're not, I know you say you like just to chill at home and stuff, but what do you do for fun though? Is there anything that you got any hobbies or anything like outside of your home that you like to do?
believe it or not, I like the bingo. I love the bingo.
Yeah.
Bingo too. Love the bingo. I like the bingo. Do you know what? I like wallpaper. I like that very calm. It's wallpaper. I like painting. Doing things up. I think I like that. To be honest with you,
Do you have any
yeah.
secret talents?
Any secret talents? I think you would
Top
have to
secret.
ask other people that.
Well, you know what? He's taking all his time to come out now. I've got him.
Yes, I have, but I can't be sick.
Now you're making me go red now. Um, how do you want to be remembered?
Someone who never gave up, no, was always there, believe for people, always there for people.
Yeah.
To say, when I'm not here, well, the one thing about him, he never gave up. He got where he was,
Yeah.
And, always help someone, always help people, which is, yeah, yeah, yeah,
Great answer.
made people laugh, you know, I had an aura and he had an aura, he walked into the room and listened up, stuff like that. I'd like to people to remember and always so nice to people, very friendly to people. But honestly, you wouldn't think I was, but
That's your character. Actually, I do have one more
yeah,
question. Just
well,
come
we
to
know
mind.
that, yeah. But that's
Obviously,
it. Do you know the character? People, as we were talking about this earlier on, people have tried for years with the character, and they never could get anywhere. My character come with me, with my own name.
Yeah.
And that's how, and people have tried that for years, and I'm lucky about that. And they never could do it.
Yeah.
They could never do it.
I've got one more question, last one. Obviously you talked about 2024, but do you have like a sort of a 5-10 year plan of where this is going to go? Have you got any ideas, or is it just like day by day, year by year? What have your
No,
what's your
no,
plans?
no, because because I know the thing I always say, no, I don't, because you're flying in the face. You're flying in the face of destiny and all that. See, I'm a very spiritual person. I believe in all what's meant to be is meant to be. I believe you do that. Don't get me wrong. I know you've got to look in the next few months. I understand that.
Yeah.
You know, this is coming up and that's coming up. Yeah, I understand that. But no one's going to come to you and say this is going to happen in 5 years. No one's going to say this happened in 10 years because no one knows. No one knows. And then, so your destiny, you're thrown on destiny. So I always say what's meant to be is meant to be in them next few months. You know, in the next 12 months, I always say the next 12 months. And then I worry about the following 12 months when that ends and so on.
I like that. Well, listen, before we finish off, is there anything, two things actually, is there anything that you want to say about we haven't talked about so far, and also where can people find you on social media? First question.
Oh, hey, stop. Stop. Well, no, I've enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed it. I've had a little chat and all that. I've enjoyed it, and that's the truth. Well, people can find me on Instagram, the Queen of Scotty Road, TikTok, the Queen of Scotty Road, Twitter. Well, it's a Twitter now, Queen of Scotty Road. So I'm all over social media. I'm all over it. All over social media. DJ Scotty in the house.
Exactly, and yeah, honestly, that's the end of the podcast. Obviously, I'm going to edit this in a way, but firstly, last thing I want to say, thank you so much for doing this in a busy time.
Oh no, thank you.
Up to Christmas, and I just want to let people know this is now my 16th podcast. Is now series 2, and I've got to say it's been one of my favourites.
Thanks so much, TJ.
I really, really appreciate your time. So
yeah, no, I appreciate you asking me, I really do, honestly. I like to wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year and all. From the bottom of my heart, and I mean that and all, TJ. I really do.
Thank you.
You're a really nice guy, honestly, you really are.
Thank you. And yeah, obviously we'll keep following you on TikTok. And
don't you forget you.
Exactly.
The What, Why Now podcast.